What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Dreamer from GotBetterBeats.com, and I'm here. Uh, I am. This is actually the second time I did this video, but we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. I'm gonna lower my mic just a little bit. That way, when I'm looking down, because I wrote some notes. But just to get right to it, um, I had I had somebody ask me a question, and they wanted me to do a video on the subject. They were asking me what are the benefits of leasing a beat, because over my years of recording, I've I've dealt with you know artists, even with no budget. The first thing they say was, I want to own everything." You know, and I mean it would be nice, and in some cases, you should want to own everything. But from a business aspect, some stuff it depends on what it's used for, and I'll be breaking that down for you. So make sure that you like and subscribe to these videos. Normally, I've been doing my Cubase and beat making videos and stuff like that. If you want to see more of that, leave it down in the comments below. Okay, so leasing beats is there's a lot of pros, and there are some cons, just like everything that you do. I mean, you're gonna have some good, some bad, but I would say one of the best things about leasing beats are, most of the time, leasing beats are pretty low cost. On the higher end, I've seen beats leased for like $50, and that's usually, like from some, like, actually mainstream producers, on BeatStars, Airbit, or online, wherever they sell beats. So the first con I would say that is easy to get into, uh, for a small budget artist. So, and another pro is that it's great for promotion. Promotion stuff, you're usually giving it away. I mean, with music these days, you kind of give it away to people who, like if you're doing a show, like let's say if you're doing a show where you actually pay to get on stage, like an open mic or something like that, or you paid to open up for somebody, that is promotion. You are paying somebody to be able to express your work. So you have to look at it like that. When you're leasing a beat, it might be for a mixtape or a promo, something that you may be giving away just to try to get some traction to your name. It may not be like what you want your album release or your single to be. You might just try to build your name at that point. So, um, it's less risk in the beginning, and that goes along with it being low cost. So my thing is, that way you don't really have a hold up, because if somebody comes to me and say, "Hey, I want to purchase an exclusive beat," I'll be asking them what their budget is. And the reason why I'm asking them what their budget is not because I'm trying to get the most money I can out of that person. I'm asking what their budget is to figure out how much time should I be putting into their project. And I think a lot of people get that mixed up with, oh, he asked me what my budget was. Entry level artists, they get offended a lot of times when I ask them what their budget is. I just need to know what I'm getting myself into, because nobody wants to lose money on a project. When I first started out, I did that a lot, saying, "Oh, I charge this much an hour," and they'll say, "Okay, well, let me just get 2 hours," and they never finish the project. They never come back. So it's just like, you know, the project never takes traction, because as a producer, you want your work to go places, because that's what brings more work to your business. It brings longevity to your business. And as an artist, that's what brings longevity, completed projects, so you can move on to the next phase. But let me not get into let me not get sidetracked today. So, and it's a great alternative for, like, actually licensing music if you are a songwriter or maybe a hook writer. So what I'm saying is, let's say you're a songwriter and you actually, you know, you're actually pitching songs to people. it would be nice to have a beat that doesn't have purchase your tracks today that you're sending to an artist. So let's say you heard a beat online, whether YouTube or BeatStars, Airbit, whatever, SoundCloud, whatever, SoundClick, anything. And the beat is $19.99 to lease it or to license it. And you have the perfect song written for it. You have some artists on your team who you can pitch it to, and you know that you can sell it. That would be a great way to pitch that song because you have permission to use it. So if you pitch it to the artist, you let them know like, hey, yes, I don't own this beat, but I lease this beat. But either you can have one of your producers reproduce it, or you can go to soandso.com and purchase it exclusive. And so then, you just kind of, you at a point where you can actually sell the song, because if they like the song, I'm pretty sure that the beat is not going to, sorry about that. I'm pretty sure that the beat is not going to deter them. As a producer, I have, I'm sorry, I was trying to see. Oh Lord, I'm just doing all type of stuff. Okay, let me turn these off. My notifications. Good old Windows. Okay, but so my bad. Before we were rudely interrupted by my PC. But so at that point, that should not deter you from selling your song, but presenting it without having tags and soandsobeats.com running through it and purchase your tracks today and all of that. You actually, because somebody's more apt to listen to it when it's a well recorded, without interruption type of song. So now we need to get to the cons, the fun stuff. Okay, so one of the cons is that a lot of times when you lease beats from producers, the beat leasing business can be, it can be kind of here and there. And what I mean by that, you have certain producers that are very popular for leasing certain beats. So their beat might have gotten leased like 1,000 times. So he's made a ton of money off this lease. So if this lease is that popular to the point where you want to buy it, certain producers may not want to sell it because that's one of their main, that might be their main, money making beat. So that is one of the cons. So you might want to look into building a relationship with your producer, maybe through a few emails, just kind of asking, hey, would I be able to buy this exclusive if I want a couple months down the line, and what kind of price point am I looking at? So that definitely is a big thing. You definitely want to establish a relationship with who you're doing business with, if you feel like you're going to be giving them repeat business. And one of the things that I've noticed lately is a lot of producers have content ID on their leases and stuff like that. So if you plan on putting your stuff on YouTube, make sure you pay attention to the terms of the agreement that you agree to when you do license the beat. Some producers don't allow you to monetize their beats as far as YouTube, as far as getting paid for their beat. So look into that. If you lease a beat from me and you upload it to YouTube, I normally get flagged, but if I know that, if I contact you and I know that I leased the beat to you, I am going to make sure that I take care of it. I mean, because it is a protection for producers, and I mean, it would be a protection for artists as well, because you get a lot of people stealing stuff, so it helps. But as far as me, gotbetterbeats.com, I got y'all covered. Okay, and this is a fun one. Sketchy producers. Yeah, we never want to deal with sketchy producers, but there are plenty of them out there. And what I mean by sketchy producers is they may be selling beats that don't belong to them. And I know you like, who would do that? But this is this is, you know, the internet. So I mean, there's a lot of craziness that goes on. But so like I said, build a relationship with who you're gonna be doing business with. Because it bothers me to say it because a lot of times it makes the job of a honest honest person online, it makes it hard for them to do things. And there's a lot of sketchy artists too, but we ain't gonna get into that. And if you lease beats, one of the cons is you can't copyright something that you don't have full ownership of. So if you are trying to do it exclusive rights to the point where you want to make sure you make it like your album single, you definitely need to get ownership. And a lot of times the price is more, but if you look at it from a legal perspective, you're just protecting you. So it does cost more because I usually say it like this: if I have a beat that leases for $30 and I sell 100 leases of that beat at $30, that's $3,000, right? Yeah. So I mean, so that's why buying exclusive isn't cheap because honestly, let's say I charge $2,000 for an exclusive. I don't sell that anymore, but I have leases that's $30 that's making hundreds, thousands of dollars. So when you think about it from a business perspective, nobody wants to spend the extra hundreds of dollars, but you got to think about it. It's something that's yours. So now it's your investment. And honestly, if you actually put in the amount if you actually dish out that amount to buy something exclusive, I would hope that you actually have a plan to market and to really push that project. But there's a lot more pros and cons for leasing beats, but I just really want to touch on the the major the major pros and cons in my opinion. And just to give you guys something to think about, something to read up on, like there's so many different videos to look at on leasing beats and uh, buying ownership. They got beat videos, it's everything out there. But I just really wanted to give you guys some pros and cons, something to really look out for from a producer's perspective. And all I can say is make sure that you are doing what's best for you and what your project is. So nobody really wants to spend a lot of money, but and you look at it as an investment, you won't look at it as a lot of money. You may spend $1,000 on an exclusive beat, but that will become yours. It's not hard to get that $1,000 back once you're doing shows, once you're streaming and stuff like that. So, the ball is in your court, and yeah.